how's it going? And welcome back, everybody, to Battle Royale. How's it going? We are back with random placement mod. Always a favorite, big favorite of mine. I love this mod. It's one of my favorite mods ever released because you just don't know what's going to happen. Just ever. You just don't know. I may end up actually playing this mod just like I'm doing with the Fascist Nova Scotia mod. If you want to see me play this mod, random placement mod, just play it and try to conquer as much as possible without getting killed. Let me know what country I should play as, if that is something you want to see. Leave a comment of which country you'd like to see me play as in random placement mod, just to play. And I might do that. I did a series quite a long time ago. I did Fascist Hungary as well as the Swedish Reich. 2 series for that. And I'd totally be willing to do a 3rd one. I love this mod to death. So yeah. So let me know what you would, what country you'd like to see me play as. As far as placement this time, it's pretty interesting because we have the Guangxi Click, Chinese People's Republic, and Shaanxi all in China, or at least Shaanxi's mostly in China, Korea area. So that's interesting. The Guangxi Click basically has its normal amount of land, its usual stuff, plus some. So they're actually looking pretty good because this is quite a good area to be at, a good chunk of land to have. United Cantons, which of course is the Swiss. I do believe it's the communist Swiss. Looking pretty good as well. They got a decent chunk of land. Sweden with a good portion of India looks great. Free America is there as well, along with Saikang. We've got Russia in a good spot for once. They haven't been in a great spot most of the other times for this. Excuse me, but they're in a good spot here now. Goodness, excuse me again. They control Iraq, most of Iran, and part of Turkmenistan and stuff here, which is great. And it looks like Kabul region even. Yeah, they do control Kabul on that southern side, so that's pretty good for them. Europe is looking interesting. We've got the Polish Republic in parts of Spain and France. We've got Japan in northern France. We've got Malaysia here in Savoy region, snaking its way up into Luxembourg even, which is kind of crazy. A nice shape there for the Zaibei, I think is how you pronounce that. They're doing pretty good there. Got Austria, People's United Provinces, which is, yeah, they've got East Anglia as their capital, which is weird because they control London. We've got Brazil there. In Ireland, we've got the Cape Commune, so South Africa. India controls Scandinavia. Portugal has northern Germany and Denmark, southern Sweden. UK is looking great. Spain's not in a great spot. Neither is the Turks, to be fair. The French Commune as well, not looking all that great. Estonia's got a nice spot there, too. They could come out. They've won 1 so far in the random placement mod. New Zealand's got a nice spot. El Salvador and Patagonia, so Argentina's looking okay, too. Tanatuva, literally where it should be, I'm pretty sure, actually, is they're pretty darn close. Oh no, they should, the one province over, they need to go to war with the El Salvador to take back Tanatuva proper. But yes, and of course Africa, Germany is in South Africa, Latvia in the north, Albania takes over most of Egypt, Afghanistan's up there too, the Danes, Yunnan, and South America we've got Siam, Colombia, Uruguay, Dominican, Nicaragua is there. We've got the Russians in Panama. We've got Indonesia and Belgium there. We've got Oman taking Mexico and most of the west coast of the U.S., which is crazy. Norway and Canada and New England, parts of Central America. Honduras there. Greece. This is Liberia. Good for them. Some decent placement. So yeah, let's get this started. I have it on 3 months, of course, because they don't have units to start with. So after 3 months, we will see what happens. And we're just about ready to go. It's going to start that 3rd month. There we go. So yep, there we go. All the wars kicking off. They just freshly put out units as well. So we're looking at Portugal right now. So Portugal looks like they have 9 units. No, they have 8 units with a battleship actually already out. So they have a fleet already, which is quite good. They are at war with the faction in Savoy here, which is Malaysia. Poor Malaysia's not going to last very long there. I feel bad for them. Looks like the People's United Provinces are going to take out Austria. Republic of Iran was just annexed. Albania and Majang took them out. Now Albania and Majang are at war. So control of Egypt going on there. We are seeing Paraguay get eaten alive here by Venezuela as well as Belgium by the looks of it. Tibet is gone. Canada warring Himalayan Empire here. So good luck to them. Costa Rica declared war on Yemen. Oh, the Poles destroyed them. Yemen took a little bit of land out of that. Yemen's got Italy, which is actually quite good for them. Hungary has been annexed as well. Spain has declared war on the French. Sweden declared war on Sinkiang. So the Turks are gone. So Spain actually took out the Turks. And now the Spanish are at war with the French, whatever's left of them. The Estonians are eating them alive. So is Peru. I imagine the Estonians are probably going to go after Peru after this. We've got the UK on New Zealand. New Zealand looks like they're doing quite well on most fronts there. They surrounded a British unit. So this could go either way still. French commune is gone. That's a shame. Yep, Estonia is going after Peru, which is what I thought. So the Kingdom of Italy has declared war, and so the Romanians against the Luxembourg, which is here. So poor Luxembourg's fighting on a couple of fronts here now. The Italians coming at them from the south in Transylvania, and Romania coming at them from the west. So that's a very unfortunate situation for them. They've got a fallback line, which seems like a very poor decision for a fallback line. Poor area for that. Canadians still struggling to take the Peloponnese region. They're one Himalayan unit defending there, doing a decent job, I will add. And the Canadians could easily end it. They have enough troops to throw at it, but apparently not. Indonesian order declared war on the Philippines. Oh, the Thunder Dragon Empire was annexed, so Bhutan is gone. Rest in peace, Bhutan. The Russians looking quite strong. So the Russians are now at war with the Commie Chinese. So the Russians could actually pull off a win here, just for the record. So could the Germanic Republic as well, even though they're at war with who? Integralist Brazil. Liberia declared war on Lithuania. Bulgaria on Albania. Oh, Menjang was annexed. So the Albanians have secured their holds on, on the Suez. So that's good. They're at war with Afghanistan now, which is a logical next step. Take out Tripoli, that area. The Danes and Yunnan at war with each other, along with Latvia at war with the Danes. So that's just a mess. And that will be a mess for quite some time, I imagine. I would imagine. In America, this is going to be a quicker contest, I think, because you've got Norway and Oman, who are obviously going to be the stronger two, I would imagine, under these. Democratic Greece, God love them, they're trying their best, but I don't think they're going to make it out. Honduras as well is being swallowed alive here. So I imagine we're going to see the Norwegians and Oman dominate North America and then fight it out with each other for control of North America. So Norway could become controller of America. Speaking of America, Kingdom of Italy declared war on Canada. Oh, Royalist Luxembourg is now gone and Communist China has been annexed. The Russians are now at war with a very weakened Venezuela, who's at war with Belgium. So we've got Russia here. They've got a good, strong 15 units going on, so that's pretty good for them. They could go quite far in this when they usually don't go as far. Now in China, oh, Poland declared war on Japan, so Poland's going after all of France now. Goodness gracious. Bulgaria is just getting attacked from everywhere. In China, we've got the Gangxi clique at war with the United Cantons. That war looks like it's kind of in favor of the clique, but at the same time, they look like they're struggling as well. The Chinese People's Republic at war with Haiti as well. They seem to be doing okay on that one, but not much movement on that front at all. We have Guatemala and Honduras is gone. Ecuador fighting over Japan. So we'll see who victors there. And we've got the Soviet state of Shaanxi as well fighting the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, which has this island here and had some regions up here. So, yeah, I imagine they'll probably go to war with the Chinese People's Republic or the Patagonians after that. It's hard to say. So, leftist Venezuela is gone. And they are still at war with Paraguay, the Russians. So they're still on a longer war there. The Albanians are moving into Bulgaria pretty heavily now, too. We've got Bolivia on cooperative Belgium. That could go either way. We've got Italy on Canada. Canada seems to be doing okay here, but they're struggling a little bit. They can't seem to end their war here. If they could end the war here, they'd have a better chance on that front, but they're going to get really beaten up. Oh. Russian Federation took 3 states. Oh, Paraguay is annexed. So who they declared war on King China. Okay, makes sense. The Argentinian League is... Wait a minute. So Patagonia Free State must be Chile then? If Argentina is right here? Okay, I don't even know anymore. This is crazy. Spain's still hanging on, God love them. I thought they would have been destroyed by now. The UK as well, doing a decent defense job against New Zealand, but New Zealand is definitely starting to get the better of them, which is a shame. Portugal and India still fighting it out. They've been fighting out since the start. King China was just annexed. The Russians now going after the Bulgarians, which are considerably weaker right now because they're at war with the Albanians. That's a shame. The Canadians getting into some major skirmishes here with Italy. They've got some surrounded units, which is really bad for the Canadians. Yeah, they're gonna get wiped out here if they can't reunite these divisions. That's a damn shame. So the Canadians are pretty much screwed now. They're not gonna have the units to hold up, and they still can't get into the Peloponnese region to take them out finally. They've got one guy here trying to invade. Looks like they navally invaded. Good job there, but yeah. Saikang was destroyed. The Free Americans are at war with the Swedes now, or with the Swiss, I should say. The Swedes are also at war with the Swiss, which is quite interesting. Oh, and the Chinese people have just destroyed Haiti, and they're now at war with the Swiss as well. Not good for the Swiss. They were hanging on against the clique, but they won't be able to now, not with literally all around them. They're surrounded by enemies at this point, so that's a bit of a shame. They were doing pretty good. Now, Albania has 10 units, so I wonder if the Russians are going to go after them with their 18 next and take out some pretty valuable land there. Or are they going to go after, like, say, cooperative Belgium or Bolivia? It would be probably well, they could go after the Americans. The Swedes. It's part of the problem is, like, you don't know. The Russians are doing pretty good unit-wise. The Poles, though, have them beat by a little bit, and as soon as they take out the Japanese, they're going to be even better straits. Imagine, yep, Japan just got annexed, and I was like, they're going to go after Panama, aren't they? And yep, they're going to unite the Iberian Peninsula. Oh, Patagonia just declared war on the Chinese. Mughal Empire just declared war on the UK. Himalayan Empire was finally annexed. Free American Empire declared war on Bulgaria. That's okay. And the clique declared war on Sweden. So we got a Swede on clique war here. That could go either way. I'm not sure how many units the clique has. 26. Okay, yeah, it's probably going to go in their favor. 16. So they have 10 more divisions. Ooh, the United Kingdom, whatever's left of them, is not looking good. Ireland as well, getting absolutely destroyed by the Romanians at this point. Just a bloodbath. Yep, they're going after the Americans. Okay. So the Americans are about to be taken out by the Russians, everybody. Oh dear. Oh dear. It was good while it lasted. Oh, Democratic Greece was taken out finally by Oman, which means, wait a minute, who are they actually at war with? Oh my god, are you serious? Finland? You're at war with Finland? Why? I mean, at least these guys are at war with Brazil. I mean, at least that makes some sense, you know? You should be at war with the Liberians, if anybody. Who are the Liberians at war with? Lithuania. Where's Lithuania's capital even based? I don't even know. Oh, Albania getting eaten alive by the Latvians. The Latvians finished their war down here, and now they're getting eaten alive. Yeah, 29 divisions. The Latvians, 29 divisions. Where are the Germans at? 25. They could go to war with the Germans. It'd be interesting to see that war. I think it's more likely they'll go to war with the Russians, though. 18, yeah. Siamese Empire declared war on the Colombians. So we've got now, looks like our last fight. Oh no, Uruguay still exists. I was going to say our last fight for South America, but not quite. The Colombians could easily take out the Uruguay right now, though. They could surround these 2 units, kill them off, walk into the capital, and be done with it. I'm not sure who's stronger here. So we've got 16 on 16. So an even fight. Uruguay's gone now, so they're going to commit all their all the troops to the front. This could go either way. The United Kingdom is now annexed. New Zealand's declared war on what's left of Ireland now, which is pretty much the end of Ireland. Canada now struggling to hold on to Bosnia, and yeah, they're screwed now. Completely screwed now. Yeah, there goes Ireland. Legionary Romania declared war on Portugal. So the Portuguese are about to end their war with India here. Because they're about to get ended by the very strong Romanians. Yeah, they've got like 5 units trying to go across, which is probably not the smartest idea. They can't even beat 1 Indian division, though. Which is not good for them. The Indians, they've got 25 divisions. They're actually quite strong. So this, yeah. The Romanians, how many do they have? 26. Yeah, they might go to war with them. New Zealand's quite strong as well. 22. New Zealand, of course, at war with what's left of Spain, which is going to capitulate here very, very shortly. Which means they could go to war with Estonia. Maybe. Not really sure who they're going to go to war with next. They could go with the Argentinian League because they're starting to lose to El Salvador. Patagonia, just murdering the poor Chinese. They just dove right in there. Polish Republic just declared war on Portugal. Panama just got annexed. So Portugal now is being attacked by 2 very strong nations. I don't know how much the Poles are actually going to get out of that. If the Polish were smart, they would quickly just dive up into Denmark to get more war score. Yeah. I wouldn't worry about the capital at all. I'd go straight up Denmark. Canada was just annexed. Goodbye, Canada. They tried their best. This wasn't their best showing. I think the second time around was probably their best showing. They had that for quite a while. Oman has declared war on Liberia. So there we go there. That's going to kick that off. Again, I'd like to see Norway and Oman fight it out. That'd be a really good one. Latvia still struggling against Albania to take them out. They will. Don't get me wrong. They will. It's just a matter of time. They control all the ports. It's just cutting them off here. They really need to take... There they go. They took that. Now they're all going to take attrition. So all these units are now eventually just going to die. They don't have a way to resupply. So that's good. And the Albanians, I don't know how many... They've only got 1 troop defending the Suez. So that's not good. Italy is at war with Belgium. Belgium and Bolivia have been in a very long conflict. This is going to end it. The Italians have already breached past his Istanbul line, which is very important. If you can't defend the Istanbul line, you've lost. That's pretty much how it goes. If you just cannot defend that line, you have lost. There is no way for you to win. It's just not possible, unfortunately. But oh well. Do what you got to do. They are surrounding a few Italian units. I mean, they could technically bounce back, but I don't know. They're on a 2-front war now, but Bolivia is too. It's really hard to say. They could bounce back against the Italians. It's possible, but it's just very unlikely. Yemen's still fighting for what they have left in Sicily against Costa Rica now. The Poles are also at war with them, too. That could lead to a naval invasion. The Portuguese fighting for what they have left. They haven't lost their capital. Oh, they just lost. Legionary Romania declared, Polish Republic declared war on Costa Rica as well. Who did the Indians declare war on? I didn't even see who they declared war on. Oh, Belgium. Okay. Why? Why? Whatever. Whatever they want to do, I guess. So Costa Rica is now about to get sandwiched by 2 stronger foes. That's not good for them. The Polish, I think, are better equipped here. 35 divisions for the Poles. The Romanians sitting at 34. Oh, it's pretty even. It's pretty darn even. The Italians sitting at 20. Italians are definitely the weakest. Who just declared war on the Russian feds? Who was that? Oh, the Latvians. So the Latvians are going after Russia now. 26 divisions for the Russians. 33 for Latvia. And the Russians are still in a bit of a war with the Americans. So that's going to give the Americans probably a little bit of hope to survive. Because they're still fighting for some cities and stuff down here. They've got a couple other units surrounded. Be an interesting war. If they start losing this, we could see somebody else jump in. Sweden and the Click still fighting it out. That line has moved a little bit. The Click definitely has gained more than Sweden has, so that's interesting. Patagonia still eating away at the Chinese, doing a good job overall, but that's a long war. I expected it to be anyway. Guatemala and Ecuador, looks like Ecuador's actually taking some land down here in the southern end. So Ecuador's actually making a push, which is interesting. Shaanxi, still not able to take Ethiopia at all. 4 divisions on 1, and they can't do it. It's kind of pathetic. It's actually very pathetic. Like, sad. Very sad. Bolivia's about to fall as well. They, the only thing they control is these 2 units and stuff here. They're gonna, as soon as those 2 die, that's it for them. And then Estonia is gonna have to go to war, probably with Belgium, I would imagine. They could go to war with the Argentinian League. They do border them there. For the time being, anyway, they border them there. I don't know. The Belgians could even go first. Bolivia's still trying its best to hold out. I don't know why. Yeah, they're like done. So is Spain, though. 88%. Peru is 98%. So there's nothing left of those countries. Why are they even, like... I don't even know where they even are. Looks like Finland controls a good portion of the land there. Sorry, we had a crash there. Should be okay here now. Let's keep going. Yeah, so we're getting down to some big players here. Latvia is looking pretty beefy. I'm surprised. They're pushing into the Russians, albeit slowly. They are doing it. And Belgium is starting to fully collapse here now, too. Bolivia still exists, surprisingly enough. I'm not really sure in what context there. The Argentinians were just annexed. Holy crap. And now El Salvador and New Zealand are at war, so we're going to see one of these 2 huge nations get even bigger, which is kind of insane. We're seeing Costa Rica now starting to get down to the last little bits. Poland is really pushing those buttons here now. Poland is mostly looks like they're headed down to try and take Sicily as well from Yemen, which makes a good amount of sense. I'm not sure where Bolivia's hanging out at, but they've got this one little spot here, and that's it. So they must have a capital somewhere, maybe some island in the middle of God knows where. But I'm not too sure about where they're at. Because like they should have just given up by now. It's kind of ridiculous at this point. Yeah, 99%. They should just give up. Oman declared war on the cooperative of Belgium, so there we go. We're seeing another war. Romania just declared war on Estonia, and India is the Polish target. Legion of Armenia took 16 states, and Costa Rica was annexed. Poland took a lot of states as well, and now they're at war with the remnants of Yemen as well as India in parts of Germany here. They don't have a clear go up into India in the Scandinavia region, so I don't know how they're going to pull that off, but we'll find out later on whether they do or not. Of course, Estonia is a Romanian target, which makes sense. New Zealand's still pretty beefy. I don't know if they're more powerful than them or not. I'm not really sure who's going to prevail on this whole El Salvador-New Zealand war. This one could be a pretty long one, depending on what happens. It's like the Chinese Republic versus the Patagonia. This has been a very, very long conflict that we're seeing. But, hey, you never know how long it'll last. Spain still exists as well, I'd like to point out. They're still alive and kicking. They have 3 divisions, too, which is kind of funny. I find that pretty funny. Oman, though, declaring war on somebody. I don't know who the hell it was. The Indonesian Order, I do believe, because they had land down here that they just took. But I'm not sure where the Indonesians actually are, have escaped to on the map. That's the problem. It's like the Germans. They want to go after Oman, but they just can't. I Feel bad for them. The Siamese and the Colombians fighting. This front hasn't changed that much. The Colombians, though, have pushed a little bit, so that's kind of nice. But it's getting down to a lot of long, protracted wars rather than your quick and easy conflicts. Especially Latvia and the Russians. They've been at war for quite some time. It looks like the Italy has taken advantage of the Estonian conflict. Yemen was finally annexed. The Polish have pushed them. Now they're going to push India out of there, which makes sense. Looks like the Indians are trying to land here. They're not doing a very good job, though. Well, they might make it. They could make it. It's hard to say. But the Indians are putting up quite the fight. I'm surprised at how well they're actually fighting there, keeping that land. God love them. Oman just declared war on the Cape Commune. Sure. I mean, I guess so. I may as well go after them. They've got the little land down there. May as well go to war with the Russians, too, while you're at it. Poor Russians, they could use a break. I don't think anybody else is at war with them right now, though. I mean, we've got the... Pretty much all these wars have been going on for a very long time. Norway just declared war on India because they have Washington, so they're going to go for control of Washington there. They could try to naval invade. I don't know how well they're going to, work out for that, but you never know, honestly. You really just don't know. Who is hiding in Gotland? Oh, it's Mexico. Hello, Mexico. Siamese Empire is on the Åland Islands. It's kind of crazy where everybody's just ended up. These few nations that just don't want to surrender or give up. Who's here? Bolivia. Who has here? Federal Democratic... Oh, Ethiopia. So they've been kicked out of there by Shaanxi, but they haven't been killed off because they've got Sri Lanka. That's sad. That's just sad. Oh, the Mongolians have Indonesia. Interesting. Oh, the Polish Republic and India here. No units for either of them yet. The Indians are about to land one for Papua New Guinea here. So they want to control New Guinea. Okay. Sure. Oh, the Indonesian order is based here. Okay. They're in Australia. Good to know. Ooh. Hello. Who are you? Oh, the Indonesian order. Wow, they have a lot of troops just sitting there. That's kind of crazy. And they're what, the Philippines? Okay, what's left of them? They've got Iraq here, Lithuania there. Jeez. So the Indians actually have a troop. Well, they have 2 troops now landed here. The Poles also have 2 now as well, so that's going to be a fight for Papua New Guinea. So we're going to see some more off of the continent as well. So the Poles and the Indians actually have colonies, and they're going to have them fight for control. So that'll be interesting to watch. Norway declared war on Italy as well. That get rid of that section there. I don't think the Italians have anything there to back it up. There's 2 Indian divisions for some reason in there. That makes no sense, but okay. They're there. Why not? Why the hell not? Makes no sense, but sure. This is still pretty much a stalemate. If the Latvians can take and cut off here, that would be good. That would be really good for them. Just cut off the entire Mediterranean access to the Russians. That would be really good. The Italians slowly pushing into Estonia. Same with the Romanians. They're getting there. They're about to take the Estonians' first capital. They've fully surrounded it at this point. They're about to take it over. New Zealand losing some land in the south, but gaining in the north. They've pushed well past the Urals in the north, but they're getting pushed back on the other side of the Urals in the south. So still anybody's game here because of just how this front's going. It'd be great when one of them loses, though, because they're both the same fucking color. And it'd be great when they lose. So we just have one nation under that go-ahead. In the Papua New Guinea fight, the Indians seem to be taking more land than the Polish are able to muster. It's 3-on-3 here. So really, it could still go either way. The Poles have pushed them out of Europe, or at least pieces of Europe, so that's good. The Poles look like they're trying to naval invade, but I don't think they'll ever be able to successfully do it. We're going to have to wait for the Indians to possibly declare war on somebody else. The Indians, on the other hand, are trying to invade Norway. Again, probably not going to work out very well in their favor. But hey, they'll try. That's what counts. The Chinese are on the brink of collapse now, too. They've been cut in half. Their capital now, in Gulag, not looking great. That could lead to... The Patagonians are either going to go over towards Shaanxi here and try to take them out, or they're going to attack Sweden and try to go after a few of the weaker nations first. So they could go after Sweden, then maybe El Salvador up here, just to try and beef themselves up a little bit. It's possible. They could also go after the Russians. I just realized the Shaanxi is at war with them. Oh! So Chinese Republic was annexed. Patagonia and Shaanxi are now actually at war. So we'll see who wins out of that one. No, Norway and Oman. That war we've been waiting for quite some time is now kicking off. Norway declared that war. So we got 73 divisions in Oman and 67 divisions in Norway. Interesting, because the Norwegians declared that war. Very interesting. We'll see how that goes. Romania declared war on India. Estonia is gone. So the Romanians now are going to go after the Indians. Now, the Romanians have a little plop of land there. Whether they can hold it, I don't know. But that'll be interesting. Yeah, because there they go. So they're starting to invade India now. Well, they've got a unit there. So if they can hold that, they could push out. That'll be interesting to see if the Romanians can actually do what the Poles can't. Oh, Spain is back. So we've got Spain. New Zealand, of course, is going to send a bunch of units now to mop up that mess. It's not going to make Spain live any longer or do anything other than retreat back to where they were. But hey, they got that land back briefly. Good for them. The New Zealand, on the other hand, is starting to take back the southern land a little bit. They've taken back the land here. They're just going to push past the Urals. They're doing really well in the north, pushing. So New Zealand could take this one from El Salvador. Oh, there's El Salvador. I was going to say, where's their capital even at? Ooh, Patagonia and Shaanxi. This is a messy one. Looks like there's lots of pushing going on both sides of the coin. So that could still go either way. Patagonia, though, definitely the weaker of the two. So we'll see if they can actually do anything. Same with like Latvia here and the Russians. Nothing's happened on this front for such a long time. Neither have been able to make a push. Kind of crazy. The Italians are looking pretty. They've got quite a nice area there. I don't know who they're at war with right now. Oman, Bolivia, and Norway. So nobody that they're bordering. Which makes sense. Besides Spain, they're not strong enough. Pardon me, not strong enough to go against anybody. Not strong enough at all. So Spain actually has some divisions now defending that, but they just got all surrounded, so that's not good. There must be a town in there, though. They're not... Oh, they're taking attrition now. I was like, they're not taking attrition. There must be a town. There's not. Surprise. Right? So that's hilarious that that's actually going on. And that Bolivia still owns that lake. Just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It looks like, yeah, Shaanxi now has started to take out Patagonia. Patagonia is starting to collapse a little bit, which is nice. India is not looking healthy at all. They're getting absolutely destroyed by the Romanians. Didn't Romania come close, or did they win one? I think they almost won one of these. I'd have to go back. I don't remember. I think they came close, but I don't think they won one. They did come close. I don't know who's stronger now. The Poles have 84 divisions. Romania, 105. So the Romanians are actually stronger than the Poles right now, which is good for them. It's setting them up to be good. Oh, Spain actually did get annexed. So they did fully surrender to New Zealand here. Oh, my goodness. Okay, I didn't expect that. I thought they'd hang on for a little bit longer, like Bolivia here. Oh, I found Bolivia. They're in Taiwan. Oh my God! One well-placed large invasion force, and they're out. They're done. The Poles have also fully taken Papua New Guinea, with the exception of an outlying island there and this little splotch down here. So they're in pretty much full control of that whole colony area. India's under collapse anyway from the Romanians at this point. New Zealand still hasn't fully taken that, but has surrounded those divisions. The few that were fighting in the Spanish are now on that line, so El Salvador's not having very good luck. They could try to surround these divisions. If they moved one guy down, they could surround a whole bunch of their divisions, but apparently they're not smart enough to do that. So hey, whatever, man. Whatever you want to do. But yeah, we're down to some of the last big wars. I want to see the Indians collapse fully. They have some proxy land, though, I think, in a few places. I know the Poles, though, are kind of in the Pacific. So if it's in the Pacific, it's not going to go well. But I know they have some proxy land. I just hope they don't retreat. I hope they just surrender. So I hate when they just retreat to the last, like they have one island, and they're like, well, we'll just go here then. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, fuck off. Just die. Just get killed. Yeah, some units surrounded here. And they're dead. So the Indians now are starting to... yeah, they don't have, like, any units left. 16 divisions. And this was a country with, like, 40 plus. Easy. And now they have down to 16. Wow, the New Zealand is now blitzed across. They not only took that little land there, but they've moved pretty quickly down into the plateaus here. They have full control of that line right now. I have a feeling after El Salvador goes down, New Zealand's going to go after either Italy or the Russians, because that's who they border that's weaker. They could go after Patagonia if they're still around, but it's hard to say. This is a pretty long war, pretty protracted. Lots of surroundings going on and stuff. It's hard to say who's going to win it. The Swedish line has it's moved back because the Swedes owned up to here, this mountain range, but it hasn't moved much since that. So they're holding that line quite well. They're doing a pretty good job. I don't know how many divisions they have now. 34. Click's got 60. So the Click's still almost doubling them up. But they're not doing very well on that front. They're doing very, very poorly. Very poorly on that front. Oman is getting kind of pushed back. This is pretty static as well. Or pretty stuck, I guess, as well. This line hasn't really moved all that much. Oman seems to be winning a lot of the fights in the north here. But they're not doing too well on the east coast and midwest. So that could also go either way. The Colombians, though, are murdering the Siamese now. They pushed them back pretty heavily. It does not look like they're going to do too well. Cape Commune has somehow come back and is holding a front here in Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras region. So that's also very interesting. I'm surprised they've come back. I don't know when that happened. I guess they shipped troops from their Ireland area down there. They're like, no, we want this shit back. We fought for this shit at some point. It's ours, motherfucker. Getting close to the Indian capital here. Oh, the Poles have made a naval invasion down in close to Helsinki here, so in Finland region. So the Poles are like, no, we want a piece of this shit too. Like, is that Polish too? Yeah, it is. So the Poles are pissed off. They want a piece of this action. I don't blame them. They may as well get in on that war score. Get something out of it. The Indians are very close to capitulating at this point. 34%. They lose their capital, they're probably done. Most of their major city infrastructure is lost. Like, what do they have? Murmansk? That's about it. There's really not a lot of big towns in here. Like, Murmansk is worth one. Lappy's worth 1. Like, they don't have a lot. There's really not a lot left. It's 16 on 3. I feel bad for them. They've done pretty well, but they just couldn't hold up to the Romanians, and now they're getting invaded by the Poles via port. Ooh, El Salvador is brink of collapse here too. Oh my. That's crazy. Absolutely bonkers. The Russians are pushing back on the Latvians now. They're 71 strong. Latvians sitting at 84, so close to even. This has been a really long conflict for both of them. Both still have a decent amount of manpower left, too. Latvia's taken 420-some thousand casualties. Russia's taken less, 300,000. Still kind of crazy, though. That's a nutso war. That's gone both ways. That's kind of crazy. I love it because the German Republic is just sitting down here with 57 divisions. Oh, Italy and somebody else. Who the hell did the Poles go to war with? Romania? No. That would be suicidal. Who did they go to war with? Oh, Bolivia. Okay. So they're just going to try and naval invade Bolivia from Papaya? That makes sense. Papua New Guinea could do that. They invade the Maldives as well. They may even just lose from losing the Maldives. It's possible. It's kind of crazy. But it's totally doable. Yeah, the Italian war, that's going to be a long, long, long war. The Italians are not going to lose that with standing, they're not going to give that one up. No way in hell. There's no way they're going to just lay down and die, No way. I'm just curious if anybody can stop the Russians at this point. They're doing really, really well. What do we have in New Zealand right now? 86 divisions. So yeah, they could take out the Russians. The Romanians could. They have enough divisions at this point. They may actually go after them next. It's possible. Totally possible. See what happens with the war with Italy. That's going to be a really long, bloody one. I'm surprised this one isn't more bloody than what it was. El Salvador does not look healthy right now. They lose their capital, they may actually surrender. Ooh, they've got like no divisions left. 84 for New Zealand. Not even close to that for El Salvador. So if New Zealand can continue its great push here, then they could easily take this capital out, and then that'd be it. Not much more for them to fight for there. Shaanxi still pocket fighting in Patagonia. And still no movement on the line here. If anything, I think the Swiss have pushed, which is actually quite astounding. Good job, Switzerland, if that is the case. Oh, they surrounded the New Zealand units again. That fight's just not going to end anytime soon. So now that we're down to the last few, we're going to get into some longer wars here. I'm just going to pause it until something interesting happens, and I'll be back in just a sec. So quick succession here. New Zealand capitulated El Salvador. Then New Zealand declared war on Patagonia, who was collapsing to Shaanxi here. And now New Zealand declared war on Shaanxi. So if New Zealand can pull this off, they're going to be really, really beefy. Ton of factories here. So 76 they'll gain, adding to their 178 already, which is an absurd number of factories. It'll actually put them ahead of the Romanians. Speaking of the Romanians, they are invading Italy still. They've gotten just about past the Istanbul line here. There's only one more to take. If they can take this, that'll be it for the Italians. They will not have a chance after that. There's some fighting going on in the Peloponnese region as well for that last port. So we're seeing that fight go on. The Swedes have actually pushed into the click a little bit. They've gotten some unfortunate surrounding here. I think there's a few units in there. Hopefully they're going to link them up again before they die. Probably not, though. But the Swedes have actually started to push back. If the Swedes can pull this off and win, that would be astounding and a first time that I've ever seen a nation that was losing so heavily finally pushed back. The Russians as well, still fighting the Latvians. That line has not changed basically at all. The Russians have done some pushing here and right here as well, because they controlled up to that point there. So some pushing going on there, but we'll see how long and what happens with that fight. This one's probably going to have to be ended by some outside interference, which could be the Romanians or the New Zealand. Really depends on what happens with this Shaanxi War and the Italian War, but we will see what happens with those soon. All right, so we just had Oman annexed by Norway mostly, some Colombia. Norway not at war with Colombia yet. They're still at war with Cape Commune. They're not very happy about it, and they're now at war with Bohemia as well, which is hilarious. Latvia is at war with the German Republic right now. Germany declared war on that one. Oh, the Norwegians just declared war on the Germans. That'll be interesting. The Romanians came in to beat out the Russians more so than the Latvians did, but the Latvians still got a good chunk of land. The legionary Romanians with their huge core of troops just kind of holding a line here. They can't really do anything at war with the Swedes. The big problem with that is the Swedes are winning against the clique still. It's been a very long drudge war, but they are winning right now. Clique at 2.7 million casualties. Sweden only at 1.2, so over double the casualty rate. The unit numbers as well are starting to go down for the Gangxi clique too. We've got 40 on the 41 now on the Swede side. The Gangxi clique coming in at 58, so they are starting to drop slowly, but they're getting pushed back is the thing, is they're getting pushed back by the Swiss slowly, very slowly but surely. New Zealand as well, still at war with Shaanxi here, some pushback, but it's been a very stalemated front line here. Nothing's really moved there. There's not any really big wars going on right now. A lot of small cleanup wars with big nations going after small nations or nations that just will not seem to surrender. So we'll see what happens, especially if this war does conclude, if the Swedes will declare war, say, on the Shaanxi to help end that war, or will they turn around and try to wipe out Latvia and the Romanians? We'll see, because the Romanians have about 30 units trapped in there, which is going to bring their army down to about 200 units. So still a substantial army for the Romanians, but it's going to hurt a lot. So just an update on what's going on. Sweden actually was almost killing the clique here. They had taken their first capital and their second capital, which was here, and it pushed them pretty much to the brink. And then Latvia all of a sudden decided to declare war on them, just out of the blue, and destroyed them. So now Latvia is at war with the clique, which shouldn't be too long of a war. The clique still has a decent amount of troops, 88 under its belt, but the Latvians have considerably more, and set up a pretty good front here, too. The Romanians also declared war on the clique, so if the clique does manage to push back, the Latvians are going to have to deal with the Romanians. But the Romanians decided to turn their pure hatred towards New Zealand, surprisingly enough. New Zealand was pretty close to taking out Shaanxi here, but Shaanxi's now fought back, because now New Zealand, of course, is dealing with a very strong Romania. I think Romania's got the most units, 749. New Zealand is defending two fronts with just 96, so they're getting beat up pretty bad. They're pretty close to linking this front line here. They've got some New Zealand units surrounded in Helsinki area as well as north of Leningrad. So we'll see how long the New Zealand manages to hang on, and we'll see who Romania goes after next. They are at war with the clique as well, so if they take everything down to here, they could go to war with Shaanxi quickly and then also fight the clique, but we'll have to see how that works out, and whether Latvia can actually knock out the clique first or not. Latvia also knocked out the Germans. They surrendered a little while ago. The Poles haven't done anything recently. They do have a big army, but yeah, we'll see what happens when the Romanians finally do decide to turn on them instead. But yeah, for the time being at least, Romania, Latvia look pretty strong. New Zealand's under a collapse. Shaanxi's not looking too good either, and the clique is not looking good at all either. So we really have three powerhouses left: Romania, Poland, and Latvia. So we'll see what happens with the land divide for these last two weaker states, and then who they fight next. Well, we're going to have to end it here, guys. I'm crashing quite a bit, and it's pretty much not going past February at this point. So Romania right now is still fighting Shaanxi. The clique has started to collapse. They were holding a line here pretty easily, but they started to collapse in the north, and they started to collapse on the Latvian line too. Latvia took Bangladesh holdings, which like 20-some divisions were surrounded and killed off. So they've lost a significant amount of their fight, and they're losing a lot of factories and land. So they're going to collapse sooner than later, and then the Shaanxi would be next. Most likely Romania would win it. They have by far the most units, and they're very well equipped. Latvia probably would be second on that list. I think they've got, oopsie daisy, 293 divisions, so they would have attacked the Poles. No, last. So the Latvians would have been taken out next, and then the Poles. So that's how it would have gone down. The Polish probably would have resisted for quite some time. Maybe even pushed them back in certain areas, but I think eventually they would have collapsed. So that's my opinion anyway. I think Romania has this one in the bag. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.